within that meta frame of the challenge, your first job is to stay out of fucking depression, okay? You know that I recommend rating your days on a scale of 100%. You want that day to be 50% or above, okay? When you start dipping below 40%, you're getting to real sadness, and anything below 30% is depression. There is no excuse to be in a depressive state ever, 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 ever. You do not have to be depressed ever. I'm speaking from a guy who used to get depressed and couldn't get out of bed. Now I don't, haven't been for the last decade. Does not have to happen. You do not have to be depressed ever, 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 ever. When you're depressed, you're choosing to be depressed, okay? You are choosing to be depressed. Depression is a state based on your thoughts and the physical feelings within your body. You do not ever have to choose that state. You're in control of your state at all motherfucking times, and you need to understand that. There is no excuse for being depressed. I don't care how bad this girl fucked you up, what she did. Do not let yourself get depressed, all right? However, when you follow my stuff, you know that all I focus on is the pursuit of happiness, and that's your primary priority in life. However, the key is to understand the pursuit. You're not always going to be super happy. If you're just going through the first week of a rough breakup, don't aim for super happiness, all right? You don't have to aim for happiness all the time. Just aim for the best state that's available, okay? Because a lot of the time when you aim for too high of happiness, it will backfire because you're like, I can't get it, and then you get upset, and you're like, man, I don't know what Will's talking about with this happiness shit. I can't do it, and then you feel bad, okay? So just aim for like neutral, 50%. Aim for 50% above. Just staying out of depression, you're just like, you're like, all right. I'm not super happy, but I'm not depressed. That's where you aim for, and if you find yourself rising a little bit on some days, that's good. All right, that's what I do whenever I'm having a rough, when I gotta do a bunch of chores or a bunch of back-end projects, a bunch of bullshit that I don't want to do. I'm like, I'm just aiming for neutral today. I'm just gonna get it done. I'm not gonna be super happy, but I'm just getting it done because that's gonna be the best state that's available today. So that's what you gotta do. Stay out of depression, just aim for neutral. Best state available, all right? Very, 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 very important. Now here's how you do this, all right? I want you to make sure that you read my article on how to fight depression. It's the best of my abilities and exactly the stuff that I use. But sort of the summary of that is, okay, you're organized, all right? You got my book, How to Get Organized. You got everything set up on Wunderlist, and you're waking up to achieve, all right? You're waking up. You are not taking days off. You are not going up to a log cabin to sit and mope and meditate. You are not calling in sick. You are getting in there and staying busy, all right? And just like always, you're getting up, you're going to the gym, and you're focusing on your mission from 9 to 5, all right? Focusing on that mission, whether it's working a job and saving money to build your business or working on your business, that's what you're doing, and you're staying busy, all right? That's a fucking huge key. You are not sitting at home thinking about this fucking girl. Then you're gonna utilize all the state boosters you have, okay? If you've been watching my stuff, I'm sure you've written down a list of your state boosters, right? If you haven't, do it now. My state boosters are high intensity exercise, hot shower followed by cold shower, tantric masturbation where I don't ejaculate, hanging out with girls, reading. For some guys, like one of my readers, it's playing with his cat. For me, listening to music. Maybe for you, it's playing the guitar. So at the end of the day, you're gonna put all those state boosters to work. Everything that makes you feel good at the end of the day, you're gonna start doing a lot more. And maybe you can loosen up the diet a little bit to enjoy some cheat meals. And, you know, give yourself permission to enjoy a bit more at the end of the day, okay? So you're focusing on your work, you've got the achievement mentality, and then at the end of the day, you are loosening up you're loosening up control a little bit. So where you might have been focusing on other hardcore goals, you're just allowing yourself to enjoy much more, okay? You're going to the movies a bit more, you're hanging out with the boys a bit more, you're doing all the things that make you feel good. And I don't want to hear that you don't want to do anything because you're depressed and nothing makes you feel good. No, 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 no. You have to get out there and do it, You have to get out there and do it. You have to stay busy, and you have to stay doing those positive activities that boost your state. If you want to look at the full state boosters, check out my article on how to fight depression. All right? That's what you do. Stay busy, state boosters. Okay? You are not going to have bad days unless you want it. You do not have to have a bad day where you're fucked up over the girl. There's a quote that stayed with me for a long time from Michael Bloomberg, who built, the Bloomberg News Service, which is a $1 billion business, mayor of New York. And he said, I don't have time for bad days. And he said, I'm in my 60s or my 70s. I don't do bad days. I don't have time for it. And that hit me like a fucking revelation. You only have so much time on this planet, all right? You need to have the mentality that you just don't do bad days. I don't do bad days anymore. I really don't. I'll have maybe a bad hour, but I don't let that fuck up my whole day, right? I don't let anything fuck up my whole day because I don't want to have a bad day, because I want to be happy. So I'm constantly focused on that. I'm constantly mindful and focused on the pursuit of happiness, all right? And that's a fucking huge key. Huge, huge, huge key for your entire life is being mindful. You set triggers to find when you're in a negative state, okay? When you're in a negative state, you are angry at the girl, you're sad, you're nostalgic, you're jealous, right? She's getting pounded out by some fucking dude who has a bigger dick than you, right? Oh yeah, maybe you're jerking off to her still. You better not be, but you might be, right? Those are all fucking big mistakes. Big, 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 big mistakes. So you gotta watch your thoughts. Every time she comes up, every single thought about her is a bad thought, okay? I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this so that if you continue to think about her, you know that you're fucking up. Every single thought about her, whatever it is, whether it's like, man, I need to understand, or I need to know why this happened, or it's jealousy, or it's she's a bitch and she deserves, all that is negative. All that is bad. All that is the forces of darkness. Okay? Those are all dark thoughts. And you need to be mindful every single time they come up. And you need to be mindful, and you need to watch your thoughts, and every time you catch them, here's how I do it. I just label that as unproductive. Okay, I'm thinking about my ex and I'm mad at her. That's not productive. Not productive. What's productive is to either go back to work or to go do something that makes me happy. That's it. Every time they come up, you just watch them and you label them as unproductive. And for a while, those thoughts might be intrusive, and the thought might keep hitting you, for 2-3 minutes in a row, but you just keep doing that. And guess what? You eventually go back to work and you change your focus. And that's, your whole day is just doing that, by the way. With, not just with thoughts about your ex, but with all negative thoughts. You're mindful, you're labeling them as unproductive. That is the best reframe that I have ever found. It's just like, that thought's not productive, and what's productive are thoughts that help me pursue my happiness, okay? Thoughts that help me in my mission, thoughts that help me get stronger in the gym, thoughts that help me get more girls, thoughts that help me feel good about myself, thoughts that help me create a positive future, thoughts that, help me feel good in the present, like if I'm getting a great massage or I'm having sex, I'm living completely in the present. So those are all things that are productive in my pursuit of happiness. Anything that's negative is not, and I label it as unproductive every time I catch it. All right, now this is an art and this is a skill, and it takes practice. It's the most important skill in the world, especially when it comes to a traumatic situation, which you're in right now. So every time that fucking girl comes up, you do not have my permission to think about her, right? It's just like when I was telling you to if you read my article, How to Quit Anything. Those voices, think of those thoughts as like a monster, and the monster always wants you to think about them. And it's like, oh, you should think about where this went wrong, and you need to analyze this. And it just like pulls you back, and it's so subtle. But believe me, that is pure evil. You don't need to think about her at all. At all. It's over. It's over.